Here we are, folks. Lent 2019. Sorry I missed you last week, but I just could not find the time. I guess that's how it is sometimes. But it is what it is. I hope all is well at your end. What I want to do today is to give you a certain Lenten flavor. And my choice this year in terms of that flavoring is the topic of mercy, which seems to be at the heart of the Lenten season. Last week it was about the blind leading the blind. This week, temptation, facing your demons, Jesus in the desert. And next week, Jesus' transformation before his disciples. Do you see the connection? Darkness, temptation, revelation. In your darkness or spiritual blindness, your greatest temptation is to trust in yourself. It was the mistake of our foreparents, Adam and Eve. They wanted to put God out of the equation by eating of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. But by holding on to our faith and trusting in God's mercy, God reveals himself to us. We have to exercise patience. So mercy takes us through this season, and I will expand on that topic of mercy as the Lenten season goes along. So on the offset, let me just say that mercy is an embodied relational quality. It proposes that the essential nature of man is relational. The statement by God in Genesis 2:18, "It is not good for man to be alone," defines us as relational beings. Relational not only in terms of marriage, but also in terms of the community and God himself. So mercy first manifests itself as an essential quality of our relational existence. It is the oil in the engine, so to speak. It is part of God's covenanted relationship with all his people, including all the attendant values of faithfulness, love, and commitment. Faithfulness, love, and commitment are the ideals of our relationship with God, and mercy is the stuff that holds it together. Mercy becomes apparent when the relationship breaks down, which happens pretty much at the very beginning of God's relationship with us. Mercy opens up the way for Israel when they were unfaithful to God's committed love. And over, they failed to keep up to their end of the bargain. They worshipped false gods, they were unjust, and their values were very poor, especially their social values. But mercy, and through mercy, there is healing, there is recommitment, and there is hope. And if all of this sounds familiar to you, it is because it is the stuff of the Lenten season. We worship false gods, we are unjust, and our social values are very poor. But God brings back healing, recommitment, and hope in our lives. And this is what we hope to achieve in this Lenten season. Over and over, my dear friends, we give in to our selfishness and greed, but God calls us back in his mercy during this Lenten season. God reconciles us to himself. The classic stories, my classic stories of mercy in the Bible, there are several of them, is John 8 and Matthew 18, the story of the woman caught in adultery, and the story of the unjust servant. Both speak of a world of unforgiveness, a world of self-righteousness and hypocrisy. Jesus' statement in the first reading, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone," as the woman stands there in her shame in full public view, it is an indictment on all of us in this Lenten season. Go ahead and point your finger if you are blameless. The second story is more personalistic and more immediate. Right after a huge debt is forgiven, the main character refuses to forgive a very small sum that was owed to him. What both stories tell us is that we live in a merciless world, a world of hypocrisy, a world of unforgiveness, where there is little room for compassion and caring. This Lenten season, as we journey through spiritual blindness, through temptation, and as God reveals himself to us, let us heed the call to be agents of mercy in a merciless world. And this is achieved primarily through acts of forgiveness and compassion. God bless you all. Have a great Lenten season.